I'm with Simon Squibb, the leading content creator from the UK, audience all over the world. And I've been really following his content for the last couple of years, really inspirational stuff. He helps entrepreneurs start off on their journey. So if you watch his TikTok, millions of people following him and getting inspired, people like me that are into the entrepreneurship journey and can relate, or he's helping them take their first steps. And I'm going to talk more about one of his latest ventures, which is Help Bank. So Simon, just tell Help Bank and what it is and what's your vision, or give us a 60-second your story, and then talk about Help Bank.
Sure. Well, I was kicked out of home at 15 years old and became homeless, and I couldn't get a job. I tried to get a job, I couldn't get a job, and then I basically woke up a part of my brain which I call the entrepreneur muscle. We all have it. It woke up in my brain, and I basically started a gardening company because I saw a messy garden in a big house, knocked on the door and said, please, can I take care of your garden for a bit of money? And they said yes, and that turned into a gardening company. And that gardening company turned into a website, and that website turned into Fluid, which I sold to PricewaterhouseCoopers for more money than I ever needed. So that's my backstory. I believe now that anyone can be an entrepreneur, and the most important thing is that anyone who wants to be one can be one if they want. I want people to have the knowledge to be one if they want. Not that you should be one, but actually make sure you've got informed consent. You've got the ability to be one if you want, because you can be one if you want. And I basically wanted to find a way of helping people for free at scale so anyone could get the knowledge they needed to start a business. So I built a platform called helpbank.com, and the basic premise is you'll go on there and get help for free forever. We'll never charge for help. But people need to be paid. There are people out there that can help you that do need to be paid, so we pay them. We pay them to help you for free. So just today we gave someone $5,000 for helping the most amount of people on Help Bank this month, and that's how we do it. We incentivize those that need help to ask for help, because the strongest people ask for help, and those that want to help but still need money, we will pay you to help those people for free. So that's it.
So how did that person that made that $5,000, can we move in? How did that person make that $5,000? What did they do in order to make that $5,000? How did they help?
They actively replied to people's questions and went above and beyond and gave them as much support as they possibly could to take their idea or their problem and get it solved or launched.
So, but then what's the monetization model? Like, how are you funding this, or how will you monetize this?
So how does Instagram monetize?
Advertising.
Right.
So you like so sponsors like I think one of the big banks, Tide, was one of your sponsors for other projects. They will pay that $5,000.
So we have brand sponsors that support our content and help us help people.
Yeah.
And we use that money and we put it back into the system to give it to the people that are helping.
Awesome. And like, how are you rolling out Help Bank? Is it a global brand?
It's a platform.com. You can get it access to it anywhere in the world. It's available to everybody, and you can go on there and get help for free, 24 hours. That's it.
And how do you know if the quality of that answer is good, right? Like, because everyone can respond, right? How do you know if it's like the right answer or the good advice?
I get advice every day from people, and I use my brain to figure out whether or not it's good advice or not. And of course, there will always be bad advice from people, and there's good advice from people. You use your logic to figure out what is good for you. The good thing is on that platform today, 50,000 people on that platform, using that platform to help other people. 50,000 people helping each other every single day. And we're only 8 weeks old.
How did you get to 50,000? Is it your personal brand that pushed it, like the first 10,000, or
and
even word of mouth?
Yeah. And back to your point though, I mean, your question was, how do we know the questions are good? Well, in life, we have a lot of people throwing advice at us. We have to use our common sense. But also on the platform, we have an upvote system. So if the answer is good and you like it, you can upvote that person's answer. So the best answer gets to the top of the profile. But ultimately, I think having people out there that will help you for free is our core mission. You'll never get charged for help on our platform, and that's important to me.
Is it an iOS and Android app as well, or is it just
no,
a pure web-based
platform? Yeah,
perfect.
It makes it much easier for people to. They don't have to download an app, go to the app store, none of that rubbish. You can just type in the website address and get help.
Perfect. And if you're not following Simon yet, you gotta be following him, because you're gonna get inspired by his content, and it's globally applicable. I think you lived a few years in Hong Kong.
Yeah, I lived 20 years in Hong Kong.
20 years in Hong Kong. A personal question. We wanted I told you, like, Pakistan makes $1,500 a year. An average person in the world makes $13,000. A Brit makes $45,000, and then American makes $76,000 a year. How would you, if you were the guy from Pakistan, content creator, how could you 10x that economy so they can quickly go from...
I give everybody the power to start their own business, whatever it is. That's how you get freedom, and that's how you start building value, because value is not in building a business. Value is building a brand. I teach people for free, as I already do, how to build a brand, not a business. How to generate money from nothing. And that's how you do it.
And what's the 2 golden nuggets of building a brand?
Be authentic. Make sure that it is true to you, because you'll probably be the person initially talking about it, so it's got to be authentic. And I think bring value. What value do you bring to the world? What do you stand for?
That company that you sold to PricewaterhouseCoopers, what was the core? What was it doing at its core, and how did you, build it?
It was basically a creative agency. So brands would come to us, ask us to help them get noticed, help their business work, and we come up with a strategy to help them make it work.
Like, what's an example of an agency? What was an example of a good situation that went well with a client?
I did that business for 16 years, so quite a lot of examples, but we helped CNN get into Asia, we helped Estee Lauder launch in China. All of these brands have been incredibly successful in these markets, and we were part of the strategy team that made those things happen.
Wow, so you learned from brands like CNN, and now you're applying that same philosophy to your own self, right?
Exactly.
Like to your own businesses.
I mean, that's the great thing about working with best-in-class businesses, as I have done for the last 20 years. You learn how they grow, how they scale. That's why I have a podcast where I interview billionaires who started from zero. That's how you learn. You learn from those that have done it. In school, they teach you not to copy, right? Big mistake. Copying is how you learn.
Awesome. Simon Squibb, check him out. He's the man, the guru. You're going to learn a lot from him, more than doing an MBA, and it's for free. That's the best part.